Hi, Xiaozhong. Today we will begin our journey of the intercultural comparison between China and the West. Could you guess which encounter is the first one we will have?
I guess education might be the first one, since education is the topic we're very familiar with.
That's right. Then let me ask you a question. What is education?
Speaking of education, the first thing coming to my mind is school. When someone goes to the school, I think he or she is receiving education.
You are right in some degree. Actually, the major task for us in this encounter is to address the following three questions. What to learn, how to learn, why to learn. What to learn? What is the knowledge we need to learn in order to become the members of our native culture? In other words, being born in China implies learning the basics of what it means to be Chinese. The basic working concept here is knowledge. That is, what is considered to be worth learning. Some differences in this concept do exist between China and the West. The Greeks distinguished between theoretical knowledge or philosophy and the craft or practical knowledge, and they felt theoretical knowledge to be superior and the practical knowledge to be inferior. They believed some reality must exist between shifting appearances. By contrast, the Chinese did not worry much about differences between appearance and reality. Instead, we honored performative knowledge, that is, the ability to respond quickly to changing circumstances. Performative knowledge in the Chinese context shares with the Western practical knowledge. Besides the different ideas about what to learn, do China and the West have different ways of learning? This is a second question we need to examine between the two cultures. Generally speaking, we feel it is easy for us to distinguish between Chinese classroom and the Western classroom, between Chinese teachers and the Western teachers, between Chinese teaching methods and the Western teaching methods. Although we can tell just according to some stereotypes, such stereotypes still reflect some critical differences on the ways of teaching and learning between China and the West. Then, why is Chinese classroom quieter? Why do Chinese teachers tend to talk more in the classroom? How much do Chinese teachers and Western teachers influence their students respectively? These are the questions we'll discuss in this encounter. The third question. Why to learn? School is now the only place that education takes place. The preschool education and the family education also play a very important role. But the Chinese parents and the Western parents have very different ideas about why to learn, thus using different parenting ways. A case study will be used to demonstrate these differences and analyze the underlying mindsets behind. Xiaozhong, now do you know what we are going to compare and analyze in this encounter?
Yes, I think I know. The China-West comparison in this encounter is mainly about three questions. What to learn, how to learn, why to learn. Simply put, knowledge, teacher-student relationship, and family education. Just now, Helen, you explained the different understandings of knowledge between China and the West, which is really meaningful and useful for me. I couldn't wait to learn about the other questions.
That's great. Now, let's get to know孔子and Socrates, the two great teachers first.